now I'm doing this one, and I did a lot more design work on it for myths. Like DC did a lot of the lettering and kind of helped out with the logos, but I wanted to figure out the back matter. I did the back part of the page. I had Colton help me out with some of the art. I did the credits page. Like that was something I'm like, I want to learn how to do more stuff
Yeah.
from this comic. For the variant covers, I was in charge of putting the logos in the right spot
Oh, cool.
and
So you're
with the
doing a lot of
right
design
colors.
work to help out, like carrying a load of a book, and that's such a good talent. I'm actually trying to do that more. Especially with CWS. I'm
Yeah,
like designing all of our anthologies we're putting out, and I'm trying to like do that because Max Flowers does it all for me for Apollo, and Max is
yeah,
astonishing. So I just let Max do everything he possibly can
yeah,
because I love Max. But yeah, it's difficult, man, learning programs and figuring stuff out. And I'm not like
yeah,
super computer literate. I'm not gonna lie.
yeah,
Like it takes me a minute to catch on. I feel very old manish at a certain point where I'm just like, man, these programs are just like too much. But
yeah,
once you get a knack and a vibe and a feel, you're just like, oh, like skill set unlocked. Like it's just like
yeah.
anything else when it comes to comics. You got to put in time and the hours and dabble and make mistakes and figure it out.
That's I like this morning and yesterday. I've just been packing and shipping comics out,
Mhm.
so I had to pack up about 36 more boxes today, and then ship them out with like a total of like 70 boxes today.
Oh, wow. Is
Um,
it all for
so like,
a Kickstarter that just wrapped up for
yeah,
you? Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
So I
Which one
finally
was
have all
that one
that.
that you kick? Was it We Call Them Myths?
We call
That
it
one?
myths. Yeah.
Okay.
So, but I finally got the book. I got the books in right before my honeymoon. So I was like,
Nice.
well, and I messaged everyone like, I'm so sorry. It's going to be another few weeks. I'm going on my honeymoon. I wish I could do it, but I'm also not going to. It's not a good way to start my marriage by being like, hey, I'm going to work during our honeymoon.
Yeah, I feel you
And everyone's like,
there.
oh, yeah, totally fine. Enjoy your honeymoon. Well, we can wait. We trust you. Um, but yeah, it's just I figured out the whole packaging thing. I figured out I finally got one of those label printers,
Oh,
like
sick. I gotta get one of
thermal
those
one.
too. Yeah.
Oh my god, it is a game changer. But
Lifesaver, I
two
bet. Yeah.
days, yeah, 2 days ago, I was struggling with it because it was a new machine. I've never messed with one of those before, and I was just trying to figure out the pacing with it. And I was using ShipStation. I was trying to
Mhm.
use a free thing so I can cut down on costs. And it's just me learning all these systems and laying on the floor and getting frustrated. And then as of yesterday noon, I was like, okay, I finally figured this out. It's so much easier. And so now I'm
Yeah.
just packing them all up. But it's always like I want to learn this. I'm having the worst time of my life. I got it now.
Yeah. Yes, dude, that's exactly what it is. It's always
Every
that,
time.
like, excitement, you're like, "Oh, I'm gonna get this, and then by tomorrow, I'm gonna be pumping stuff out," and then it's just a
Mhm.
week of, like, pulling your hair out and saying you hate it, and you're like, "This is dumb. I should have hired
Yeah.
someone else. How do I afford someone to do this for me?" And then you eventually get it, and you're like, it wasn't that bad. I'm
That
doing it."
satisfaction
Like
is about I that's the way I feel about how I felt about my writing for a while when I couldn't figure out like how to write scripts because I never
Mhm,
had any formal training with any of that. I was just
mhm.
reading other people's work. That's how I feel about the design work that I did on We Call the Myths. I just trying to figure that out, talking with other people who worked on the book on other books, and
Mhm.
then shipping and so on, and conventions and everything else I need to do that I feel like I need to be more successful at. It's just learning from other people, getting frustrated when it doesn't work out, and then figuring out why it didn't work out and
Yeah.
pivoting.
Yeah. And that's what you got to do. That's what you got to do to
Mhm.
be successful for sure, is just to go out there and ask your community questions and
Yeah.
people are so great and so nice and honest. And,
Oh
some
yeah.
people will be like, let's meet up for 30 minutes and I'll give you a quick rundown and an idea, or, I'll help you solve this one issue you're stuck on. And, stuff like that. People will just save you on it. Max was teaching
Yeah.
me how to format my zines. I wish I had one near me to show off. But like he was, I use a app on an iPad called Publisher
Yeah.
2, and that's helped me just place everything. It's like $20. It's like a lifetime thing. It's really cool. And so
Yeah.
I just do it all on my iPad and I like format it, and it's actually working really well and making it really quick for me. So I'm really enjoying this aspect because I did the punk anthology on Adobe, which was like
Yeah.
a crazy wild mess I had to figure out because sometimes like just making a PDF seems impossible. Like,
Yeah. I'm trying to learn Adobe as much as possible. Like
mhm.
Photoshop, Illustrator, everything on there.
I'm
Like
not gonna lie, dude. Like, if you look into, so what I'm learning with my new position is that we're designing even anthologies like layouts so I could see it and see how it feels and I could just
Hmm.
export things super quick is a program called Adobe XD. And it's
Adobe
made to like,
XD.
yeah, it's made to like design like for web for sure.
Yeah.
But dude, I export everything as PNGs, JPEGs, PDFs, and it's so fast and it's so awesome. It's a cool designer's tool, especially because like I'm a designer that doesn't design from scratch. I could get
Hmm.
something and like manipulate it and figure it out
Yeah.
at that point. All the all the CWS like promos for the show we're doing,
Yeah.
and that's all through Adobe XD. All these like everything you see is all done
Yeah.
via XD. So that might be a cool program for you to
That's
dive
cool.
into and like mess with too. Yeah.
See, that's interesting to me. That even just like talking with other people, seeing what they work, seeing if like maybe that's something I can use. If
Yeah.
not, I know what it's there and I can possibly suggest it to other people.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yep.
that's the other thing I love about this community.
Your comic books to life and print your comics with comics will spread.